Hello, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Sorry for the delay. I realized somehow when I was back there plugging in my microphone and getting ready for the live stream, I just unplugged my router, or not my router, my interface. There's a big difference between a router and an interface, but yeah. So sorry for the delay. Hope you are getting any signal I'm sending, given already. Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. So today I wanted to do something really simple, and that was kind of just let you in on the process of making a live show. So when we do a live show, we run loops and click and guide and all that stuff. So I had to do it. We have a show coming up at Southeastern here in North Carolina next Thursday, and I have the set list ready. Kind of have an idea of how I want the show to go, but we have a rehearsal coming up, so I need to get everything done and settled and ready for this rehearsal. So I figured, why not pop in here while I have to do it anyways, and just kind of share what we're doing and what I'm up to with Ableton and how I run our live show. It's nothing complex, and if you're a worship leader, this is probably really familiar to you, and might not be a review, but either way, here I have to do it, and might as well share a little bit about how I do it. So right here, I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. No way. Dang. You guys didn't hear anything I was just saying. Well, now I know my mic was muted, and Okay, so now we know it's working. While I'm here, I'm going to test some things out.
2, 3, 4.
Let me make sure that's not too loud for you. While I'm here, I'm going to test some things out.
2, 3, 4.
No, that sounds pretty good to me. Cool. So sorry about that, guys. Man, I guess I should... Let me keep my live open so I can actually see the comments. Yeah, happy accidents, Julio, for sure. That's hilarious. Anyways, well, then let me just start over. So what I'm going to be doing today is breaking down how I build my live shows out. Since we're going to Southeastern, I want to kind of share a little bit about what I'm making. Opened up a template here. This template's super simple. Have a click track, have a tempo track, and then I have some guides that we'll use in our ears. The tempo track just establishes the tempo of each. The reason I have it set up like this is because when I make all of my loops and when I make all of my tracks for just live recordings, I build them in Ableton sessions that have these markers, and then I'm able to save them as their separate sessions, and it just makes building tracks a lot easier. So, and I also have all these already labeled to the numbers on my keyboard, just because that's how our drummer channels it. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start building this out for our, let me stop sharing my screen real fast. The main reason for that being, I wonder if that's what did it when I shared. Let me do that. You can hear me. I can see it. When I share my screen, you can see it. Okay. All right, cool. Well, oh well. So yeah, so let me go ahead and pull up our set list. We use Ableton to plan everything out as far as loops and stuff, but we'll use Planning Center to plan out our set list, just like any other church would. I just use it for Illumination Project just because we partner with a lot of churches oftentimes, so it's easier to send them Planning Center invites and those sorts of things. So pop over here, August 17th. Again, we're going to be at Southeastern August 17th. If you're going to be in town or in Wake Forest, I would love to see you there. So let me show you our set list. So here's our set list. We are doing a song called Jesus is the King. We're just doing the intro of it. Jesus is the King is a new one that I've been working on. I'm hopefully going to finish it today, depending on how long this live stream goes. But given the technical difficulties, probably not too long. But we'll start out with Jesus is the King. Then we're going to go into, luckily, a lot of this concert we get to do all originals. Sometimes it's a little different when we are doing like worship nights and stuff like that. We don't get a chance to actually do our originals because we want to just serve the church best where they are. So sometimes they just don't know our originals. But the rundown is going to be Beams, Just Wait. Then we'll jump into Look. Then we'll do On and On, which is a newer release. Memo, which is a memo to our quarantined friends, which is a nice, fun, upbeat one. Labyrinth, Throne, Where Could I Go, which is super low-key, but we do a cool live arrangement of it, which I really enjoy. And then Light of Your Grace by Citizens and Saints because it's a great song, and then Made Alive by Citizens and Saints because it's a great song. So, super simple set. That's it. So I'm going to start with Beams, Just Wait, and Look. And the way I do that, again, I said I built these all in their own Ableton Live sessions. That's so I can actually pull them up here on the side. Here, if I drag this over, you can see it. But here on the side, I have all of the loops that we use, all of the tracks that we've recorded ready to be used on stage are stored in a separate folder. And so this allows me to just find Beams, and I open that, and then I just drag it over, and you'll see what happens here. Hopefully, nothing crashes. And nothing crashed, but we did get all of our stuff here. Computer's working a little hard to get it all loaded. You'll see up here, I have those same markers. I have guide, tempo, click. All those things are in this section. So since those are already loaded in, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to delete the ones that came with the template. Again, this is really just so I can have all of our click, guide, and cues in one area of the track. Let me delete tempo. Yo, computer's running slow. It's going to have to figure it out. All right, so get tempo going. Delete that. Man. Click going. What is going on? Let me bring my sample rate down. Yeah, that should be fine. So tempo going. This is how we start beams.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
Why does it sound like that? No idea. Let's go back through. Hit this. There we go.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
All right, so let me explain what just happened for those of you that might find yourself in a similar situation. So when I use these templates and when I use these Ableton sessions built like this, because I didn't delete those other markers first, when I dragged in this Ableton session into this Ableton session, essentially combining two different sessions, it was warping all of the tracks below. That's one, why my computer was freaking out, and two, why it was sounding weird and it was super slow. If you know Beams, you know it wasn't that slow. So that's why it was sounding like that. Now we see clicks the right speed. The ambient sounds good. And then when this comes in,
Verse 2, 3, 4.
painting with colors that faded, workers toiling, blinded, jaded, in a world we were called to just go in, go. So that's the track. I don't play keys on stage just because I'm not a good enough keys player, but I do have to come in here and take out the guitars if I have them in here. So if Dan's not in here, I will come in and take out the guitars. Okay, now I know that that's super loud for you. And now my YouTube's freaking out. Yeah. Cool. Let me check in on the chat, see if you guys have any questions or if I'm muted. It doesn't seem that I'm muted, but then thanks again. Shout out to Julio for telling me that my mic was muted way back there. So thanks, man. Appreciate you. All right, back to Ableton. So that's why it was being a little weird. The way you fix that is you come up here, you click this tempo wave file. This is a wave file that is literally just a wave of silence, but I use it to lead the tempo. And the way you do that is you come down in your bottom part of Ableton, click your clip, come here, and then hit lead. When you hit lead, it's going to snap everything to the tempo that is registered and assigned to this wave file. So that's what happened. That's why it sounded weird. Now you know. Now we can solve some other problems. So like I said, this is Beams. So we really just keep the kind of twinkle key stuff in for Beams just because we don't need anything else. So there we go. That's done. Ooh, it drug in Just Wait too. Oh, maybe that's from another session. Weird. Well, we can delete that because we don't need it. Delete that because we don't need it. And then we'll come over here. Beams is done. We'll find Just Wait right here. I have two. Let's see which one I... probably this one because that's how I label my files for organization. G 74 BPM 44. Oh, that's used over everything. That's not even the right song. That's awesome. I just said for organization and it was the wrong one. This looks like it's the right one. We'll try it. There we go. So we dragged Just Wait in. Notice it came to the beginning of the session. That is unfortunate, and I do kind of hate that about Ableton, is that it brings it up to the front, but all we have to do is drag it over to the end, which will be right about here. We'll get it there, and then we'll zoom in to get a better picture of when it ends. So normally this would be a lot faster, but probably because I'm live streaming and doing this all at one time. So then I'll select all of my white markers here. Drag them up to their proper spot. So then the transition will sound like this.
There's more than we see.
Reset period. Get that click out of your brain.
Vamp.
We'll come back here, make sure this is right.
Vamp.
Boom. Just wait. Let me fix these cues here. This was a long time ago. That's the downfall when you build them. The one downfall of building them in templates like this is when you don't do something right, you forget about it, and then you don't think about it until you come back in later with the same song, which is what I did here. I made the cues super short.
Verse 2, 3.
Perfect. Then I'll take all my vocals out. Also right here, I have original song marker. This is really good if you're running songs with volunteers. Having this sent to the ears of those that you're serving with, if you solo this, it'll send it to the ears only versus sending to the house, because I have this with the clicking guide. It's just a really helpful thing that I think is useful for those that are running in-ears and also serving with volunteers who might need a little help. So we'll group those. Just wait. Let me make sure my set list is right, and that is the next song. That would be unfortunate. Yes, just wait. Oh, then we get to do look. All right, let me go and mute what I don't need. Push I'll need. Drums I don't need. Bass I won't need. OP1 I'll need. Background vocals, we'll keep those in, but we'll turn them down a little bit. Vocal effects, we'll keep those in. Guitar, we don't need that. Vox, we don't need those.
3.
Cool. That is just wait. So now we're done with that. Then we come in, find our set list. We know look is next, so we'll come over here. All my media files are missing, so we'll do that. We'll search for them real fast because they're not really missing. They're just on a different hard drive because I moved them. Yes, we want to find the others. Boom. Now look is there. See, again, it imported to the beginning of the session, which is dumb, but, you know. So I want this to kind of end right after. I'll give it a little bit of space because I don't want to go directly into it. All right. Also, if you're out there and you have questions, let me know. If you have questions about how we run things, why we do it this way, happy to answer those questions. But again, this was just, I have to do this anyways. Figured I might as well live stream it. Hop on here if anybody wants to watch. Again, I have those cues super short.
Intro 2. Intro 2, 3, 4. Verse 2, 3, 4.
Obviously, I don't need bass in there, but sometimes we do. Greg can't make it or something, and we'll do bass. So that's look. She done.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
Cool. Let me go ahead and do two important things that I didn't do, which is the first one is save. So let me save this. Sebit show. And Ableton Sessions. Live. All right, so now it's saved. Thank goodness. I have a terrible habit of doing that, and all of my friends would make fun of me. The second is move these locators where they need to be so that drummer Anthony, brother Anthony, can get his cues right.
Vamp 2, 3.
Cool. Then we need the third one. Right there, I think. Let me see. If you see me reaching up, it's because my trackpad's up here and I'm just used to working with it faster.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
Nice. Save, and then we'll move the next song. And you might be wondering why I haven't put Jesus is the King at the beginning. I will, just because it's not done yet. I have to do some things. So if I can finish this up before I need to go this afternoon, we'll jump on there and I'll work on Jesus is the King while I'm live. All right, then what was after look? Look. Oh, on and on. Ooh, new one that I don't have the loops built yet for. I'll do that later. But let me pop over here, check the comments, and send a text. Again, if you are here, maybe for the first time, let me know how it's going. Let me know how you found Illumination Project. We have a couple things going on. If you head over, let's see. if you head over to our website, illuminationproject.org, we just redesigned it. I redesigned a few things, just kind of focusing a little bit more on the content we're going to be making along with the songs we're going to be putting out. Just really been thinking about how I can pour into other artists, but also use the art and the things that we make to cultivate a life dedicated to Jesus for those that listen to us. So if you head over to illuminationproject.org, you will see that. Also, if you are around and want to join our Patreon, that would be awesome. It supports everything that we do, and we try to throw in some perks there, and we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff over there coming soon with the music that we're releasing and just documenting this process of making the music and just creating to bring glory to the Creator, really trying to lean into that. So Patreon gets all of that first. So if you're not over there, again, go join it. Let me send this text real fast. I'm realizing now that Dan, who is our guitar player, he does all of our mixing, and he has all the stems for it. Julio said, I found Illumination Project through an ad. I believe, hey, ads work. They say they don't, but ads work, and sometimes you have to, just put a little ad on to share about what we're doing. All right, let's go back to it. Let's jump back in. So we're going to skip On and On. I'm going to leave a little spot in there. And if you're not familiar with On and On, it's this one.
I can feel it. The push, the pull, the weight, the unclarity. I can see it. The chance.
Anyways, that's On and On. So since that's going to be the fourth song, I'm going to leave a little break in this section. That song's about 2-ish minutes. No, it's like 3. Isn't it? Let's see. Let's check that song again.
I can feel it. The push, the pull, the weight, the unclarity. I can see it. The chance, the choice, the path, the reality. I can know it.
It's like right under 3 minutes. See, you didn't know I was going to be playing stuff so that you would get tricked into just hearing On and On over and over and over again. Did you? Cool. So since that's there, we'll go to 5, marker, zoom out a bit, and we'll start 5 here. 5 was Memo. I always forget about this song, and I just love it so much. It's just a fun one to play. One thing we did want to incorporate a little bit more of on this show than other shows is we wanted to have a little bit more space where it's not just like song, but we wanted to provide some space to where we could just like jam. So I'm going to try to build that in here in a little bit. Once I get the bass line down, I'll go in and start tweaking it exactly. But again, luckily, since we have these already built, it makes things really easy to just kind of throw everything in. If all is working correctly, typical. Again, it did that thing. But that's okay. We're going to drag it. Makes it a lot easier to do, too, since when your computer's working right anyways. Also, for those of you watching, I'd love to share some ideas I had. If you're up for it, drop a comment or drop like a 1 in the chat or do something so that I know you want to hear it. But I'd love to share some of the ideas that I had coming up of some content we wanted to make around the songs that we're doing, as well as just some videos we had planned. Would love to share those ideas with you if you're down, just to get feedback, All right, so let's check this.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Drums. Nope.
Verse, 2, 3, 4.
Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. For there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy
So during the
habitation of
live
the Most
session, I'll
High.
actually be
God is in the midst of her. She
playing
shall
around
not be
with
moved.
this.
God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage and the kingdoms totter, yet he utters his voice and the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us.
So yeah, so live I'll play around with this probably. So
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. For there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage and the kingdoms totter, yet he utters his voice and the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress.
man, love that song. That's gonna be a jam song. So we'll figure that out in rehearsal. So then we go over song 6. Song 6 is the end of song 5. Let's find out where that is. So put it over here because we'll leave some room for some jamming. 6, memo, labyrinth. Find Labby over here. Let me save. Labby live. Let me just not drag it any old where. Six. Again, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, I'm trying to walk through it as best I can, but also sometimes you just get in the zone, you know? So again, this is a layout for a live show we're doing in a little bit.
Intro. 2,
This is
3,
Labyrinth.
4.
Cool. See, I have the original song in there sometimes so I can know exactly what I'm doing. So this is synth, vocal. We obviously don't need that. We don't need bass. We don't need, is it vocal effects? We'll leave that in. We don't need that guitar part or the drum part.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
So really just the keys. Ooh, I'm going to take that drum out, that vocal out, because it's dirty. So, not to clutter any of this stuff, I'm going to take all this out since we're not using it. And this is Labyrinth. Julio. Love it. So Julio asked the question, when's that album coming out? So we are, let me explain some of that. So album is not coming out, not because we're not going to release music, but I think for the next bit, we're just going to do singles. So my reasoning for that is I think as a growing band, what I'm learning and what I'm researching, when I hear about just bands that are still new and still trying to, get their fan base, which we are very much new and still trying to get our fan base. What they say is singles is best. And that's mainly just for like Spotify algorithm. Now, that doesn't mean that our singles won't go together, or there won't be any themes, or we won't do anything fun. See, again, with Illumination Project and being independent, I think the beauty of that is that I get to do things that normally other bands don't do, or maybe their record labels might not let them do because they aren't independent. And so I actually get to do whatever I want. And so rather than like waiting to release music, right now I'm trying to get 5 songs done and in the hopper. And I have those 5 identified. I just have to finish writing the lyrics for them and then do like final production stuff on them. One of those is Jesus is the King, which we're doing at this show. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is finishing those 5 songs, getting those in the hopper, and then we're just going to release them every 2 weeks. That's the plan. And not included in those 5, those are 5 originals. In between those 5 originals, we're going to be doing some covers as well. And so we'll be releasing those covers. And throughout those releases, the way we're going to kind of tie those together, they'll still be available on Spotify. You'll still be able to stream them. But the way that we're going to tie them together is through actual experiences within our Patreon community and within our online email list. So if you're not on either of those, here's a couple ways you can get involved. One, you can head over to Patreon. You can join us on the crew. The crew is our supporters, the people that really are bought into Illumination Project and the resources that we make, the things that we make to cultivate a life dedicated to Jesus. We are a new band, so I definitely need all the support I can get. So I appreciate those of you that are on Patreon, those of you that support us through that. Huge blessing to me. The second way is you can head over to illuminationproject.org /Psalm Challenge. And it looks like that. When you head over to illuminationproject.org /Psalm Challenge, you're going to be redirected to a page where you can sign up for our email list and then go through this cool little devotional series that I made. So I wrote up a couple devotionals with reflection questions and creative prompts. And so in that, I put that out there so that people could really take next steps in cultivating a life dedicated to Jesus by 1, getting in the Word, and 2, realizing just how much art and creativity impacts our spirituality and helps in our spiritual formation. So if you head over to there, it's like a 5-day thing. You can walk through that. I think it's really fun. I got a lot of good feedback on it from those that went through it. If you're on here and you went through it, let me know. So that's doing stuff like that, and I've got a couple other ideas, like doing like a fall retreat, but online in the fall where we do more worship music, share that, and that coincides with an original release. Got that idea. I just got to channel in those ideas, get those wrangled in, and then begin putting out the music. So yeah, that's the update on the album. Head over to illuminationproject.org /Psalm Challenge. Again, that's illuminationproject.org /Psalm Challenge to get involved in what we're doing online. It's like a Substack, but it's free. You see, all these people are doing Substacks, which are essentially just newsletters and sent to your email. This is like a Substack, but free. So better, right? And we do all the same stuff that everybody else is putting on Substack. We've been putting on our email list. So you guys can go over there and check that out. Anyways, back to that. And Julio, I answered your question, so I'm taking it off. So back to Ableton here. So got Labyrinth
Intro.
loaded.
2, 3, 4.
My pulse is rising. So that one starts right out the bat, so we're good with that. Let me save. Head over. We are almost done. Throne, Where Could I Go? Light of Your Grace. Where Could I Go has no tracks. We just kind of free for all that one. Throne is in here. Fun story about Throne is normally, because Braille did the rap, normally I don't do the rap just because I'm not a rapper. But we were at a church a couple weeks ago doing an event, and I actually did the rap. I surprised everybody that was involved. Because I actually sat there and I rapped Braille's rap. It was not nearly as good as Braille, for sure, and I wish he was there to do it. But, he's got things to do.
Intro.
So I rapped that, and it was fun. The kids that were there, the students that were there, it was like a student event. they loved it. So that's all that matters, right? It moved them and it pushed them more into the moment of worship and what we were trying to do. So I consider that a win. Move that there. Again, the reason I do this, I'll show you at the end once I get my marker in place. Uh-oh. What's going on? All right.
Intro. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this is throne. Let's group this. Rename it. Keep that in there. Is that all that? Oh my gosh. Bass. Keep the percussion in and the synth in. We don't need drums. We don't need guitar. Cool deal. Save that. 7. That's right. Next throne is where can I go? So we'll drag a marker over there. Just for the sake of having a marker. And then we'll take 9. Take that, and that's going to be Light of Your Grace. And the reason I'm doing that is just because in the flow, sometimes Anthony will just get over there and he'll just trigger the next one. This will allow us not to have to worry about it triggering another song. It's going to trigger silence. So if I hit 8 right now, hit play, you're going to get click. Because it's there. Yeah, so easy fix. We go in here, hit our marker, hit 8, hit Command E, down, Command E. That's cut. Select, delete, done. Now when he hits 8, it'll just be silence, and we'll know, oh, that's because it's where could I go. Then when he goes to 9, that'll start Light of Your Grace, I think. Yeah, Light of Your Grace. Which is such a good song. If you haven't heard Light of Your Grace yet, you're missing out on some good music. It's a good one. Oh, I just ejected some stuff. Oh, you know what? The power flickered. I wonder if that was it. Can you still hear me? It looks like I'm still live. And my interface is still in. Cool. All right. Don't know what happened there, but all right. So throne's in there. Let's throw in Light of Your Grace, which I have built out a similar way. So when I get a track from multi-tracks, or if I pay for loops from people, I usually will go in and build it out so that I don't have to do it on the fly, because again, just building templates, it takes a little bit of time, but not much, and it saves you so much time if you're still in session view. You need to get up to arrangement view here. So we'll go here, select all these files. Put it on 9. Go there and make sure all that's selected. Now,
1, 2.
we do this a
Intro.
little
2,
faster
3,
than others.
4. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
This is cool. That's a fun one. I also have the center here. I have that extended so that we can have some fun with it. And then, last but not least, is 10, which is set to 0. And that's made alive. Easy peasy. So let me grab made alive. And we'll do the short one. We don't need the long repeats. Actually, yeah, we do. Let's undo that. Let's do the long one. We have time to fill. We'll just jam. My computer's slowing down, slowing down. I appreciate you, Julio. Glad I'm still here. All right, so click. I left some of the guide. This will be a good opportunity to show you the markers too. This is again another really just for volunteers or those that might, when we need to jump back in the song, it makes it easier. But if I were to collapse all this stuff and then just open up markers, you would see that I have everything marked verse.
Intro, 2, 3,
in,
4.
intro. And that really just helps, like, if I'm like, hey, guys, let's, like, during rehearsal, like, let's run to the chorus, second verse, whatever. I can just jump in right where I needed it. So, with that said, now that the set is built, I'm going to collapse the top here and just rename it controls. And then make sure it's sent to the right one. External out. 20. No, it's 1920. 1920. And the master is 2122.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. Then I'll hit save, and I'll actually hit collect all and save. And then we'll go back. And that's the session. It's as easy as that. It's really not super difficult for those that have been in Ableton before. It's really easy. If you're a worship leader, it's probably super simple to you and you understand this all. But I just one of the things and one of the directions we're going to be going from now on is kind of documenting this whole process and just sharing behind the scenes, but as well as like just thoughts and devotionals, just more resources. I think for a long time I was waiting for somebody to like look up to, and an artist that would be like sharing everything that they do. And I found a few, but not too many Christian ones, unfortunately. So hopefully this will set us apart a little bit. But yeah, I'm really trying to make Illumination Project a success, and I want to make more music and make more things to glorify our Creator and curate a culture for the kingdom. That is my goal in life. So hopefully in doing so and in sharing the process, I can inspire other people to do the same thing. So with all of that said, if you haven't had a chance yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and then head over and join the crew on Patreon. It supports what we're doing. It supports who we are. Before I leave, any questions? Any questions for those that want to jump on? I'm here. Might as well answer any questions that you might have, and we can see. That's my stream. All right. I'll wait around for a little bit. See if you have questions. If not, then I'm going to go and start working on some music. And my family's also waiting for me outside that door because we did a little co-working session today. So I kicked them out of the studio for a minute so that I could do this live stream and get some stuff done. So cool. Well, hey, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Again, head over to illuminationproject.org /Psalm Challenge and sign up for our email list. Again, it's like a Substack, but cooler because it's free. And we're going to be sharing those Psalms, some of my favorite Psalms, along with some creative devotionals and creative prompts to get you kind of doing some creative things yourself. And then we'll share some updates and things like that. But really, head over, do that Psalm Challenge. If anything, you'll just end up reading the Bible for 5 days straight, and that never hurt anybody. That was always good. So thank you again so much for tuning in and being a part of what we're doing here with Illumination Project, and I will catch you later.